this is what riles Patriot fans up a little bit about Brady in Tampa. Is Arians saying that Brady wasn't allowed to coach up in New England, and I'm letting him coach down here. And, Arians made reference to that.
When he talked to us.
He didn't say it as point blank in a way that could sound critical of Belichick's way of doing things.
Right.
Because it kind of worked out, the 20-year relationship, I would say.
It's fine. It's all good.
You know what I mean?
It's all good.
But the fact that Brady is coaching him up, teaching people, teaching the children well, to use a little Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young here.
Nice.
Teaching the children well. And in New England, Tom wasn't really known for...
Tom did a lot of yelling up in New England.
He did. He did. And I just can't wait. It's just truly unbelievable. And this is one thing I'm wondering. You tell me. First is always the special one, right? He's 24 years old. He's in New Orleans. And then the second one is very special because you're proving it's not just one. I mean, look at Breeze retiring with one. Phillip has retiring with none.
Aaron Rodgers has one.
Just the one. Okay. The third one for New England, though, was very important because it was back-to-back. Okay. He joins a select group, the Triplet Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, right?
Steelers.
Going back-to-back. Just to throw some out there for you. Then the fourth one was very important because...
They hadn't won in a decade.
It shows you that it wasn't just a flash in the pan, or you're now separated from T.J. Jefferson's Triplet Cowboys,
right?
Who did win 3 and 4 years, which is what Brady did to start this all out. Then the fifth one and the sixth one are now up there because you're separating yourself from Terry Bradshaw, and separating yourself from Montana,
yeah.
like you're in a different one. So each and every one is special in its own right. Fifth and sixth is, important. The fifth one, for sure, because now the quarterback...
He's by himself.
Mount Rushmore has just one guy with 5 rings on there.
Right.
Sixth one was particularly gluttonous and unnecessary. Except for the fact that 6 is better than 5.
It weirdly ties him with Michael Jordan.
Could you make the case the 7th is the most special of all? Because he's 43, it's with Tampa, and it's not with Bill, and it's not with New England, and it's not the Patriot way. It's the Brady way in Tampa, Florida.
Right.
And it would be the first one to ever do it in his home stadium, so there's just an interesting little wrinkle here.
Yeah.
And the fact that Tom Brady strolls into Lambeau freaking Field, of all places, to play a playoff game.
Obviously never played a playoff game.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Tom always has that weird quote. Not weird, but it's his famous quote about which ring is his favorite. He gets asked that all the time, and he always says the next one.
Of course. This one, though, I don't think...
I think this one might be his favorite.
This one's different.
Yeah.
This one's different.
Yeah.
This one's different. The wrinkles, again, being that he's not with New England anymore. And also to be able to say, okay, Rams and Chargers, you go host the Super Bowl in your own building, play the Super Bowl in your own building and win it. Everyone else from now on, that's another thing to shoot for. And do it as a 43-year-old in your first year with a new team in a pandemic. I'm serious. Like, this is something that would scare me down to my socks if I'm a Packers fan. And I know we could talk X's and O's and how Green Bay will also have the home field and it's 20-some-odd degrees and so on and so forth. But I'm just wondering if this one in particular for Tom Brady, Thomas Edward Brady, that this one's the 7th would stand out amongst all the other ones for this fact alone. And he's 8 quarters away from making that happen. The entire journey of this season from being in New England, throwing a pick 6 to end his career there, that couldn't have been easy to swallow. Certainly if he strolled off the field knowing I'm not coming back, even though the narrative wasn't at all about that there was a decision to make, and then he makes a decision, and then he goes to Tampa, and then he goes to Tampa, and it's a pandemic, and there's lots to learn, and he does have to school people up, and he's also something he has to take in himself, and he's got a leopard to change some spots, and he does all of that, and then season starts, and it's very, very inconsistent for him. And it's also very out of character for him to lose track of downs on a Thursday night game,
right.
and all of that.
Kind of forgot about that.
And then, an Arian saying things publicly that Belichick never would, and is this relationship frayed? And then Antonio Brown comes in, and there's more to learn and more to get used to, and can they do it? 8 quarters away from winning his 7th ring. That's a fact.
And let's be honest, if Tom wins this year, for a lot of people in our business and fans, it's going to end the debate. It's going to end the Bill versus Tom debate, and that it was Tom the whole time.
Yeah, but that's not fair.
It's not fair, but
it's
for
not
a lot
fair
of
at
people,
all.
it's going to end it.
It's not fair at all. That would be absurd. That's absurd, and I'll just say that right now. Front it right here, right now.
And I think for Tom himself might feel that way.
If Belichick had the same roster, and he's in charge of the roster there, but if he had the same roster as New England's, as Tampa's, and that's part of the reason why Brady might have made this decision. He looks around, like I'm not going to spend my calendar years of age 43 and age 44 with the window closing just for Auld Lang Syne because I want to wear just the one uniform. It's not going to happen.
With all due respect to some of those New England guys, you want to play with Jacoby Myers or you want to play with Mike Evans?
Great job with the all due respect, because that was disrespectful, even though accurate. But
I have no explanation for
that. And honestly.
I'm a Pats fan. I'll be right up front about it.
New England could have easily been 4-12. The fact that it wasn't a total disaster this year might be a testament to Bill Belichick's coaching and the whole staff. And I don't want to hear that at all about Bill versus, Tom and who's more important or whatever.
If the Bucs make the Super Bowl, that's all we're going to hear for 2 weeks.
And I'll be sitting here for 2 weeks saying that this is a ridiculous conversation. But Tom proving that he can do it without Bill. And Bill will have to prove he has to rebuild in order to do it without Tom. And he needs to find his quarterback. But that's for down the road. For the moment, because Belichick has not forgotten how to be a GOAT coach at all. The horses weren't there. And the main horse that can actually turn a 7-9 team into 9-7 or 10-6 is 8 quarters away from the Super Bowl. With Tampa Bay.
Unreal.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.